Sorry about that. But no, yeah, I'm with you. I feel like it, and I know you won't bite my head off for this. There are tons of Apple fanboys that will, but um, I think initially with this form factor, Apple was innovating initially, but the last two runs, especially this last run, it just feels like they caught up to what everyone had been doing 6 months ago, and they didn't. They just came. Okay, we're close enough now that we can see that line, but we haven't actually gotten to it. And what they
Right.
need to do if they want to maintain themselves is they need to not only catch up to that line, but go about 6 yards past it, if not 600,
Right.
to continue to push the thing. I mean, everybody in the OEM industry knows that there are dual core atoms, that the next version of the Snapdragon is going to be dual core. They know that Android does full multitasking and is actually beginning to be embraced by multiple manufacturers. Dell, Motorola, HP, HTC. It's Samsung now. It's not like Android is going to flop and go away.
No.
And it's yes, there were reasons for these early devices not to do multitasking. As a matter of fact, you could argue on some of these $99 Android devices with how easy they are to overload that maybe turning multitasking off in them might help the phone's performance just a little bit.
The thing here, see, I'm not a big fan. I have a HTC Evo here, and Android isn't my favorite OS.
No, it's like, yeah, you like WebOS, which I want to get into in a little bit. But yeah, go ahead and go into HTC.
Yeah, WebOS is the master at concurrency and multitasking. But because it's actually, Android would do itself a favor if it cut it out with the stupid six applications in the original bar to see what's running. And I know you can buy the app to the list. I don't like that. I think it's clunky versus my WebOS, which I have everything in a card view, and I can easily manage processes and threads. And I'm telling you, the pre that I own is 600 megahertz. And compared to a gigahertz phone, it runs great and smooth. And it is also a Linux underpinning. So, I mean, Android.
On your one question on that, have you tried adding Task Killer to your Android devices?
No, this one, yeah, I have the task killer, but I mean,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. I have to get the application, the bar, and then you can change the GUI for that flip for where you can kind of slide the stuff. But to me, it's still, why didn't Android just do a better job of making native task switching management better than than the six original in that display icon? Because a lot of apps run, and also.
Oh, you're talking about like when you hold the home icon down?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I can also tell you that I have the Android SDKs from 1.5 on up and the various wrappers that they ask us to use. But let me tell you, they need to start stressing a little more than the documentation that I've been through, in that programmers need to kill the app on exit.
On exit, yeah. Well, no, and that's the thing. And I've noticed there's some developers I won't get apps from anymore because they're so bad about that. And then there's some developers that have embraced the type of stuff you're talking about. The ones I love are the developers that realize, hey, I can plug into the notifications thing. In which case, you don't have to use the menu. It's like, for those of you wondering what we're talking about here, on Android devices, the default thing is you hold the menu down and it shows up to 6 things here. But
I can.
a lot of applications, I've only got like one running right now, but a lot of applications, what they'll do is they will hook into the notifications menu. So you have them there in a list to hot swap back and forth. Things like Pandora and a lot of your streaming services and things like that. And the media player that Android itself actually made. It's like it hooks into there. The better apps I've seen follow suit in that, so that your notifications thing becomes, it winds up breaking into 2 sections, notifications and ongoing. and the ongoing has all your ongoing things. So just do that type of fast switching from. The problem is that is like you say, it isn't mandatory. It's up to the developer to decide whether or not they want to take advantage of that feature.
Sure.
And
Yep.
it's one of the weaknesses of open, and that it's the developer has to do their job. They have to think about the UI. They have to think about what's going, and all of them don't.
Well, it's not an open problem. It's not just open. I mean, even on the iPhone's applications, there are several things where if you don't do a save state and so on before their concurrency came up, you'd have all kinds of issues for pushing or trying to return back to the application.
Oh yeah.
On restart. But the thing that I love about WebOS, that it's still its underpinnings are Linux, and Android could have done that if they just put a little bit more attention into saying, look, we're going to have to manage all of these threads in save states in a better manner, that when it's killed, or I don't know, some sort of basic API call for every other application, it does a kill. I mean, for instance, like on the Palm Pre, the master kill, like if I can show it here, is.
Let me bring that up.
Oh, I've been showing the HTC Evo and the other.
I showed the. It's like, okay, sorry, you're up now. It's being really glitty, but that's.
But you can swipe. Let's see here. Wow, this is hard to get.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know if you notice how much this is jerking.
See, if you swipe it away, that's the kill. It's done. You're pretty much.
Yeah.
You're pretty much through with the application. And I will give Apple a pat on the back for their methods of handling multitasking or save states, in that they couldn't duplicate the card system within the Palm Pre, but see, you can slide rather easily, and it shows you everything. And it's fairly easy to kill with just a hold down, and you hit that little red dot right there, and you've killed the task. And so I really like that.
Now, it's like, that's the thing. With iOS 4, there are some things Apple has got right, and there's some things they're really behind in. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to the well, actually, so we only got like 3 minutes left in this part. I'm not sure well, we'll start going into it. An Apple fanboy posted a thing. Basically, it's like, before we get into WebOS, I want to go over this. It's basically, it was done very satirically. Basically, they're saying Android sucks because it doesn't work like an iPhone. But some of the thing, it's like, this is like the Windows people who come in and try Linux or a Mac and go, well, it'd be better if it worked like Windows. It's like, but they have some things, some of which I wanted to actually get some feedback from you on. The first one we have time to go in now, it's the initial setup. You've messed with Android devices, you've messed with iPhones, you've messed with WebOS. I don't actually know what WebOS does on this, but the initial setup, as far as I understand it, of an iPhone is you take your iPhone, you go plug it into a Windows or Mac, God forbid a Linux machine, but Apple doesn't think Linux should be supported, and connect it to iTunes, and begin the updating and syncing process of updating iTunes and updating the phone and yada yada and so forth, which can take upwards of a few hours in some cases. And this person's big complaint with Android is the first thing an Android device asks you to do is to sign into a Google account.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But you can skip it.
Well, it's that honestly depends on some things. That's the thing.
I skipped it on this Evo.
Well, no, that's the thing. We're up on time, so we need to go into the next part. So if you can wait a second.